Hi, fellow students. My name is Ron Picciarelli, and today I'm going to be talking about a grassroots entrepreneur from the late 19th century, probably someone you've never heard of. It is Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker was born on a Mississippi plantation in 1867, and she was born Sarah Breedlove. She was orphaned at age 7, moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi, and got married at age 14, had a child, and became a widower at age 20. Well, Sarah Breedlove decided she was going to move to where some family was to help her out. So she moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and she had brothers there who were barbers. Now, Sarah Breedlove decided that after she talked with her brothers that the African American community needed, more hair care products. So she was selling some hair care products from a company named Poro, and she was working at a drugstore part time. And the druggist said, "Well, let me take a look at that Poro product." And he analyzed it, and he said, "Well, this is what's in it, and if you added a little bit of something or took away a little something, you could make your own product." And that's exactly what she did. And Sarah Breedlove, when she married Mr. C.J. Walker, gave herself the new name of Madam C.J. Walker. And she decided that she was going to sell her own products to the African American community. But instead of just selling products like the Poro company did, Madam C.J. Walker sold a lot more than that. She sold a different way of life and also a very different way to look at one's hair. At that time, in the African American community, women saw their hair is a real problem. There weren't any products to help them with it. They were considered kind of nappy headed, and it was very difficult to put a brush or comb through one's hair. But with the Walker system of beauty products, they could have beautiful hair with scalp treatments and kind of a hair straightener that she had. She called it a hair iron at the time, and they could have beautiful hair too. Now, what Madam C.J. Walker also did was she empowered African American women as independent beauty consultants. And what they did was they would go out and sell the Walker system, and they would demonstrate it door to door. And they would get incentives for their sales, such as extra pay or prizes and gifts and things like that. Very similar to what other companies nowadays have, like Mary Kay or Avon. They have products and things and rewards for their top sellers. Well, this early version of it in the late 19th century with Madam C.J. Walker also sold the idea, a very early idea that, black is beautiful, and empowering women, especially in the African American community, whose opportunities were quite limited at the time, to make a fairly good income for themselves. So Madam C.J. Walker products were well known among the African American community. And in some of my sources, A'Lelia Bandles' biography of her great grandmother, that's Madam C.J. Walker, discusses all the good things that she did for the African American community by being a very smart businesswoman and being very generous and a philanthropist for African American causes. We also have Cheryl Thompson's article, which discusses Black women and their identity. And with these early products, the hair of an African American woman became a source of pride and joy, and not a problem, as was seen before the Poro products and Madam C.J. Walker's products. Also, Paul Mullins's Consuming Lines of Differences article, he discusses that at this time in the segregated African American community, one could make their own market and market their own products specifically for the African American community. And these ones, the Madam C.J. Walkers, were sold by African Americans to African Americans. And they also sold the whole system. They also had a group of beauty colleges where one could learn how to care for hair and create jobs for African Americans. And it was just a wonderful opportunity at the turn of the century for African Americans to empower themselves and to create their own products for the African American community that would buy them. So I hope you've enjoyed my video, and we've kept it under 6 minutes. Thank you.